Last weekend, I played in Smogon's yearly VGC tournament, and after a shocking 2 losses in day 1, I was able to win out every round and top cut the tournament. My pick for the tournament was a lightly updated version of my Froslass team from Regulation MA. The core strategy was have 5 strong Pokemon, sorry Whimsicott, that could always close out a game if I set up the right positions. Now, I've already talked about how the team works in my last video, so I'm not going to go too in depth here. And I also want to save those nitty-gritty details for when I upload the tournament replays, so I'll talk only about relevant changes today. Also, between the tournament and now, I've made some changes to the team. To keep things simple, I'm only talking about the version of the team that I'm bringing to the ladder today. With Regulation MB, new threats have been added to the game, and in online tournaments, Swampert has been the standout Pokemon. So the biggest change to my team is fully to target down Swampert. So Whimsicott was holding the Fairy Feather for the longest time, and it worked really well. It forced players to reconsider the position when Moonblast does so much damage, and that can force extra mistakes that I can then use Encore to take advantage of. But I think the Mental Herb plays better into Whimsicott's disruptive and annoying role. And with no speed investment, Whimsicott is vulnerable to opposing Prankster Taunt and Encore itself. Now, the Mental Herb costs significant power, so I have to be a lot more precise with my Whimsicott, otherwise it becomes dead weight. Now, the next change is simpler than it sounds. With the introduction of the Life Orb, there is no reason to keep Garchomp using the Dragon Fang. It's just an objectively worse item in this context. Now, the stats on Garchomp do need to change slightly to accommodate its shiny new item, but they're all pretty small changes. When a Pokemon holds the Life Orb, they lose 1/10 of their total HP when they land a successful attack. And because Pokemon never passed math class, they don't know how to do decimals properly. Long story short, if there's a decimal, round it down. This means a Garchomp with 190 HP takes the same amount of recoil as a Garchomp with 199 HP. We can use this interaction to get some extra bulk at essentially no cost relative to the Life Orb. So Glimmora has a really small change, but it makes a massive difference. For most of my time with the team, I'd been using Timid Glimmora to move first as much as possible, but by changing to Modest Nature, I can make Glimmora slightly slower than my Garchomp. This is important because it allows me to do more damage to Archaludon since Stamina won't be activated before Garchomp attacks, meaning that I get the best out of both of my Pokemon. Now, my Incineroar set has changed massively. That is to say, my Incineroar went on vacation and Gyarados is taking its place. For some reason, Gyarados gets Power Whip, a grass type move. This allows it to hit Swampert for great damage. But you might be asking, why not use a grass type? Well, Gyarados is the only Pokemon with a grass type attack that also has positive type matchups into fire, water, and ground type attackers. This makes Gyarados a superb check for Swamperts, since Gyarados can wall and KO it, all without being weak to Charizard, who's already a tough matchup. With a Citrus Berry, Gyarados can intimidate cycle strong physical attackers like Mawile and the aforementioned Swampert. And with Dragon Dance, I have another win condition if I can get Gyarados set up. Now, because Kingambit is kind of goated, it was the only Pokemon to stay completely unchanged at any point in the team building process. From day 1 till now, this has been the exact same Kingambit. So, let's jump onto the ladder with this new and improved team. Okay, what is this? Actually, what? So, Floette's not usually a bad matchup, but I'm more concerned about the Sinistcha than anything else. Because if they get a Tailwind and then Sinistcha and Floette on the field, then I'm looking at a really tough position to work out of, because you're looking at redirection that I can't really block. Unless I'm using Blizzard, I guess. You're also just looking at a bulky Pokemon that will be on the field for a long time that can also click Matcha Gotcha, potentially burn my physical attackers, not good. One of the options that I have is to focus down Sinistcha and get a setup Gyarados going, because +1 Gyarados probably 2-shots Floette, if not 1-shots. So that's one way to approach it. I don't know that I love that approach because this style of team is still very similar to a lot of the Charizard teams that have been going around for the past 3 months. So I will play it as such. I'll make it the slightly more aggressive version of the game plan. No, I won't. What I'm thinking is I would lead Garchomp because if they lead their own Garchomp, then I can just do my Encore Protect play and then Tailwind, Dragon Claw their Garchomp, and there's not really a lot they can do about that. But if they lead Floette, then I'm on the back foot big time, and I lose even harder to Sinistcha. So let's not throw the game on turn 1. I mean, these are the leads we want to see. One option is just to rip Tailwind and attack Floette, but I think that is the lame and bad option. When I could Sludge Bomb Floette and Encore the Whimsicott. What this does is it says, hey, you desperately want to click, what's it called? Tailwind, there it is. And so if I Encore you, then what are you gonna do after that? You have to switch. If I take my time, I can then waste their Tailwind, get a Tailwind of my own, and then they're forced to reposition. Is that Garchomp to the field? Yep. I mean, that's good for me. If they're Tailwinding, I'm looking really good. No, they Moonblasted. Okay. Because it's a bit... That's interesting. And scary. And annoying. Why'd you crit me? What the hell? Watch this. Crit of my own. Boom. Nope. I mean, so I have a few options here. I don't hate just clicking Moonblast into Garchomp because realistically what they want to do is they want to click Tailwind. Yeah, they probably just want to click Tailwind. Do they want to just click Tailwind? If I feel confident they just want to click Tailwind, then I should just double down and Encore again. Because probably Tailwind ground type move into Glimmora is the play. There's no good way for me to cover... Yeah, there's no good way for me to cover them staying on Moonblast. I mean, I can't think of a much better play outside of... nope. I really just can't think of a better play. Oh, they double switch. Interesting. So I could then just target down. I could use Garchomp as a sacrifice. Target down the Armor Rouge. Just get rid of it right now because that is one of the scarier Pokemon. I could actually protect Whimsicott if I really felt like it. Because one option is just to protect Whimsicott and just hope that I'm faster. Because it looks like there's a Trick Room mode here, but they've brought the fast ones, haven't they? Is that Floette going to be really slow if they've brought Tailwind? Is it going to be below Garchomp is what I want to know. And I don't think there's a good way for me to know. I'll make the more intuitive, the less safe play, and go for Tailwind. Stomping Tantrum, because if I'm right and I knock out Armor Rouge, then I have the Tailwind. If they go for Trick Room, then I'm looking really bad. But I think that's just gonna be something that I have to live with. Oh, Wide Guard. Not what I expected at all. Yeah, there's no world where I was clicking Rock Slide or Dazzling Gleam or something like that here, so I am A-okay with that, because yeah, I just get the Stomping Tantrum for free. It doesn't KO Armor Rouge, which is not my favorite, but I'm okay with that. I'm less okay with that because it's got a Citrus Berry. Dazzling Gleam should KO Garchomp, but not guaranteed. It does. Crit on Whimsicott's not my favorite. I'm not sure if that changes the numbers. That's annoying. But at the same time, I think I'm fine because I can go to Froslass. I can go to Froslass and Encore the Armor Rouge. That's a pretty solid option. Because then they're forced to reposition, which allows me to click Shadow Ball, I guess. Not really what I want to do. Well, actually, I can just go to Glimmora. That's pretty safe. I would need to... Actually, what I can do is I can Encore Armor Rouge, and then I can Sludge Bomb into Floette. There's not really any downside to that. Since what Armor Rouge really wants to do here is it wants to click Psychic or Heat Wave or Armor Cannon, and I'm just not going to let it do that because Wide Guard is kind of a great move to be stuck with when I have no moves that can be blocked by it. What I'd love to see is Armor Rouge switch and Floette protect, because then I can just Encore lock the Floette or just continuously attack that part of the field more aggressively, which is kind of what you want from any given position. They do switch Armor Rouge. to Whimsicott. And they protect Floette. Look at that. That's not so bad. Because yeah, well, the Encore fails. It's not really a big deal because I can just go for Encore Floette and Sludge Bomb the Whimsicott. I can continuously cycle them in this way where eventually I'll get a little bit of damage everywhere, and then Floette can probably win. Not Floette, sorry, Froslass can probably win. Because realistically, Floette needs to switch here. I think that's a must for them. If I was feeling a bit more spicy, I could have gone for the Moonblast and just gone for game right there. But I don't think I have to, so it's not a big deal. I want to see Tailwind. Oh, we're seeing Moonblast. Poison, 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 please, please, poison, poison, please. Punish them so much for not just setting Tailwind, please. Ah, come on. I mean, they should always be setting Tailwind there just in case they get poisoned, because if they get poisoned, then they just don't have speed control for the rest of the battle. And they knew that that risk was there, so I personally disagree with that choice. Definitely Mega Evolve. What I need to do is I need to clear the threats to Glimmora. I think the way that I win is to go Shadow Ball Armor Rouge, and then Earth Power question mark into Whimsicott, cover the switch. Do I need to cover the switch? I didn't need to. What I want to see is Wide Guard Tailwind, because a double knockout might be something I can work with here. But if I don't go for a double knockout, then I can force the Encore. Maybe I hit a double and then I can just one-shot everything and then 2v1. You know what? Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe this whole game was kind of a mistake. But I should have one more turn of Tailwind, so it's not a big deal. Yeah. Cool. Armor Rouge, gone. That is one of the scarier Pokemon on their team, just eliminated. And I do get to force both of their scary Pokemon to the field. So I'm very interested to see how they're going to play this. The straightforward play is to Spiky Shield on Glimmora, but I'm not sure if that's the right play, because a double up into Froslass probably KOs. To be entirely honest, if they're like Moonblast, Dragon Claw with the Life Orb, then I'm probably going down. And if they're Light of Ruin, definitely going down. I mean, you know what, based on the idea that a double up would probably lose me the game, I'm happy to just attack with Glimmora and see what happens, because I'm not actually getting more value out of it. Oh! Well, that's interesting. What's the vision there? If I clicked Aurora Veil, which is never the right play, but you know, if I do click that, then I get a very good idea of what I can do, because I would actually survive a double up at that point. Also, doing that aggressive play means that I can Spiky Shield now when they can't safely protect Garchomp to bait said Spiky Shield. So if I can KO this Garchomp, then I'm looking at a decent spot to win. This is turning from a pretty doomed game to, wait a minute, I'm kind of winning, aren't I? As long as I can get some chip damage on this Floette and keep Glimmora out of range of a Floette attack, I'm looking pretty good. But I do have to remove Garchomp for any of this to matter. Dazzling Gleam, that's probably not the move they need to be clicking to stop me, because that does like 30%. Oh wow. Crit? No? Okay, they do Stopping Tantrum, that kind of justifies the whole position. I don't know that Floette two-shots Glimmora at this range. I'm not sure that I want to find out the hard way. What I could do is I could click Aurora Veil, or I could just click Protect. Actually, Protect would be way safer. How many turns of Tailwind? Because I could probably prep around that. Yeah, I think I just Sludge Bomb here. Don't overcook it. Protect just means that if they wouldn't two-shot with spread damage Dazzling Gleam, that'll still have a chance to win. Because I suspected that it's modest. Moonblast shouldn't KO. Ugh. Bloody close though. I get the Sludge Bomb off. Floette goes down. Holy. That's one way to win a game. Yeah, that was not the best showing, because I was kind of just on the back foot the whole time, right? And that's not how you want to be playing any game, let alone Pokemon. On the back foot, you will struggle. That's one of the matchups of all time. I'm used to seeing this type of team but I'm more used to seeing like a grass type or Mawile or something like that instead of Garchomp and Sylveon. The good news is that Grimmsnarl is a better matchup for this team since they have to lead Swampert or Archaludon with Pelipper to get the advantage that they want, which does mean that in theory I could lead Froslass just to slow them down. I'm not going to, but I could. I think my safe lead here is probably just Whimsicott with Garchomp, and then you have like Glimmora, Froslass in the back. Normally I'd bring Gyarados to this matchup because you have Power Whip and all that, but I am feeling a bit fearful of that Archaludon. That's kind of the ultimate challenge for the matchup. If you KO it, it's free eats. Otherwise, it's kind of a big deal. We do see the Garchomp Grimmsnarl on the front, so Mr. Worldwide. What I think the right play is just to Tailwind Protect, because I honestly don't want to go for Dragon Claw into Reflect and then not KO the Garchomp for free. It also baits out the potential Protect from the opposing Garchomp, but I don't think they're going for it. Yep, there's no Protect from the opposing Garchomp. We're likely going to see Reflect or Light Screen. Reflect. I think that's the right call. It's the more threatening damage that I have right now. Poison Jab! They called it! That's interesting. Truthfully, I'm not sure that it's even good for them, though. I would be giving up the Weather Ward pretty early. Well, not even giving up the Weather Ward, but just like taking concessions in that Weather War early maybe isn't the best call. But if I'm threatening a double knockout, well, I'm threatening to knock out Garchomp so easily that I think they have to respect. I think they have to respect that realistically Blizzard and Tailwind is the ultimate threat. What I could do is I could click Rock Slide to cover it, but I don't really want to. I want to Stomping Tantrum and call Light Screen Protect, because they should protect Garchomp here. I think that's the big takeaway, is that if they don't protect Garchomp, they're probably going to lose, no matter how they play this, because the incoming Blizzard Dragon Claw just becomes so impossible to dodge. Like, you can switch, but if I double hit, then it's a problem. Oh, I threw. I forgot about Parting Shot. Uh-oh. I think that actually might just be game. Oh my god. That is disgusting. I can't believe I did that. I mean, if I hit a, they didn't protect either. That's crazy to me. I mean, if you go for the Parting Shot play like that, then yeah, I guess it makes sense. They crit. That has to be a crit. Oh, that's not true, actually. They could be max adamant, but that's really not the standard. That really sucks. I didn't even know what to do to that, because what I'm doing here is I'm just going to say, you know what? If you don't click Blizzard, sorry, if you don't click Y-Guard, I'll use Blizzard. They Y-Guard. I actually don't know what part of me thought they weren't gonna do that, but I definitely went for it. Shadow Ball probably keeps me alive, if I'm being honest, like Shadow Ball Protect. This is definitely the play that loses me the game, though. So, good job me. Stomping Tantrum. I've got the Sash, so I'm not out of it, but I am going to have to hit many, many Blizzards, and that's not very likely. So, this is a good lesson for those who need to hear it. Don't do silly things. Do try to remember all the moves that your opponent could click, because it's not like Parting Shot's obscure. I just did a really terrible job covering for it. What I want them to do is I want them to make a mistake. Spiky, hit the Glimmora, take some extra damage, so on and so forth. Because I might be able to win off of like critical hit Swampert here. They protect Garchomp. I think that's the right play. They didn't. Why'd they do that? I wonder what the vision is there. Oh, Tailwind, right. Okay, so they're just trying to stall the Tailwind. That makes sense. What I'm thinking is, if I double protect, and they went for an attack on Glimmora, then I'm looking good. Realistically, we're looking at Rock Slide, Wave Crash the Froslass, but there's no good way to call that, because losing either Pokemon for free kind of just spells the end of the game. At least Froslass can can do something if they make a mistake, is my thought. I missed the double, that's probably game. They go for the wave crash. That's definitely game. Yeah, there's the KO. Well played from them, honestly. Like, it was just a really sloppy approach from me. I should have just been... well, I can call it a really sloppy approach, but on one hand, I was not prepared for Poison Jab to come out there. Not on a Life Orb set. I'm pretty used to Roselli being the only Garchomp that has Poison Jab, but now that you have Life Orb, you do have to be considerate of Poison Jab more often, because Poison Jab's just a good move. I mean, it's not how I want things to go, but at the same time, that was totally my fault, not like just bad luck. I can live with it. Ooh, this will be interesting, because I played this type of team in the Smogon tournament and I won. So to uphold my reputation, I must win here. Now, it's not the exact same team because they have Kingambit over, I think it was Annihilate or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. But that doesn't really change how I want to approach this match. Whimsicott Glimmora is pretty good into every single lead except Gholdengo. And even then, if they have a Pokemon like Charizard on the field, then I can always go Tailwind Protect to sack Whimsicott, do some damage with Glimmora and Garchomp, and slowly work through their team. Really what we want to see in the front here is the Whimsicott though, because being able to Encore that turn 1 could be massive. Because again, you get to stall and reposition while you set your own Tailwind, which means that they have to spend more time getting Whimsicott back to the field, and that's how you get free damage. Okay, Whimsicott, Dango, that's fine. It's not really what I want to see, but it's fine. Because I can Encore the Whimsicott and Earth Power the Gholdengo, and that should put them in range of Earth Power Blizzard. I mean, with a bit of luck, I could probably just go Encore Earth Power, and then if they make a misplay, then they're in real trouble. It doesn't look like they've misplayed, but they have made the play that I'm broadly predicting. So, Whimsicott now on lockdown. Gholdengo most definitely in range. Also, it used its big Make It Rain on two of my less valuable Pokemon in the matchup, since I can now bring Garchomp or Froslass in for free, and they're gonna do a lot of work here. Now, I am giving up any chance of Tailwind, which is a bit scary, but that's definitely in range of Blizzard, so... Oh, but I don't have the Tailwind, so I do need to play this a little bit more carefully. Yeah, no, I definitely messed up a little bit, because I'm realizing now that not getting Tailwind at all probably isn't worth all the effort. Because even at -2, that Make It Rain's gonna do a lot of damage, so I probably just have to go to Garchomp now. Oh, that doesn't work either. Yeah, I really messed up, actually. I didn't realize how... No, but I Encored the Whimsicott, so it's fine. Because I can just go... Because, yeah, Gholdengo needs to switch, and Whimsicott needs to switch. I think Gholdengo is the lower priority switch. What is the switch to? If it's anything but Charizard, I'd probably rather be clicking Rock Slide. Just to be... Well, I don't want to click Rock... Actually, that's a good point. I don't want to click Rock Slide. Unless it's Charizard. But I don't think they're bringing Charizard in here, so I'm going to Stomping Tantrum the Whimsicott and Protect. It's not my favorite. I definitely made a big oopsie here. That's good, because I can at least... Cool, they protect Gholdengo. Not my favorite, actually, because... You know, if I go for an attack here with Glimmora, then I can protect next turn, which is really nice. 50% of the Garchomp, though, is really nice. The problem is I take a bunch of recoil. That means I'm definitely in range of a Garchomp, of a Dragon Claw. I could play for the mistake, which I think is a totally believable thing to happen here. Realistically, they should click Make It Rain, Rock Slide, which I don't love. But if I can KO the Gholdengo, I think I'm in a good spot. Because I think Garchomp can win this game against Charizard. Not against Floette, but against Charizard. And I suspect Charizard's what they've brought. Dragon Claw, nice. We really want to see Make It Rain. Shadow Ball, good play. That's objectively the right play. I didn't even think about that. It doesn't really change what I want to do, but that is definitely the better play to make. Guaranteed hit, doesn't reduce your stats any further. Pretty smart. One turn of Tailwind, I don't love that we're here already. I probably have to double protect, and then I could double protect, get a Veil up, and then I'd be in a okay position because but even a double knockout wouldn't help me then. So I need to Blizzard. This is a pretty terrible position, to be honest. When I played the tournament, I led Froslass, but that was a game 2 mix-up, and it worked really well there. So maybe I should have just doubled down and called the Gholdengo lead, because Gholdengo is pretty good to my team. I hit the double, so if they've gone for Shadow Ball, Dragon Claw again, then I'm looking okay. Not good, but okay. Shadow Ball, we're expecting what, 40, 50% still? Yeah, it's still a lot. Honestly, I said 40, 50, but I didn't expect that much, to be honest. So I'm not happy about that. Because I get Garchomp and Gholdengo. That forces their Mega Evolution to the field. But if that Mega Evolution is Charizard, then I'm in big trouble. If it's Floette, the game's over, but Charizard's not good either. That's the Whimsicott. Oh, that's not good. GG's. Triple protect. Freeze Floette. I don't think that even wins me the game, but I'll go for it. I'll go for the triple just to see if I can hit a triple, because I've never actually done that before. But right now, it's looking cooked with a capital K. Also, that's a banger nickname right there. Banger nickname. I didn't hit the triple, what the heck? They hit the Tailwind, what the heck? What am I supposed to do now? They hit the Dazzling Gleam. I thought Dazzling Gleam was 0.3% accuracy. What's going on here? I mean, again, it's an unfortunate way to lose because, you know, it was totally controllable. That's why it's unfortunate. It was totally my fault. Wasting Glimmora and Garchomp was kind of what lost me the game, because Froslass has the power to close games out really easily. But if I don't do a good job getting to those positions, it doesn't really matter how you play it. I don't like this. They're using my own Glimmora against me. What are we expecting in the front here? I think Whimsicott lead is pretty safe to assume from the opponent. I would love to see Garchomp, not Garchomp, Charizard. Garchomp. Why'd I say that? Oh my god. Anyway, realistically, we're looking at Charizard, Whimsicott, Glimmora, or Floette maybe? Maybe Basculegion if we're feeling a bit spicy. No matter how you look at it, having Garchomp in the back is pretty nice. Having Froslass is kind of a necessity since it's the Mega Evolution. Sorry to everyone who wanted to see Gyarados in Kingambit, I guess, because they have not been hitting matchups where they're very good. Which is kind of the issue that I've been having with Gyarados in Kingambit. It's harder to find matchups where they're good, because in theory, getting a Swords Dance off in this matchup's really good with Kingambit, because you can just one-shot Charizard with Sucker Punch. But against like Whimsicott and Charizard, you kind of just go, well, I have to protect and then Encore, and if I get the call wrong and Charizard attacks, then I'm in a really bad spot. But if the Charizard protects, then you're in a really great spot. So it's one of those ones where it's more volatile, you know, higher highs, lower lows. So I think part of it will just be, how do I make Kingambit work better in specific matchups so that I can actually use it? Well, if I brought Kingambit here, I'd actually be looking crazy good. I think there's a few good plays from the opponent here. I don't hate just flip turn, and like I don't hate the idea of them just clicking flip turn, go to their sweeper, which is probably Charizard. If they have a Tailwind, it's not a big deal, because I don't think they want to bring Floette in ever, knowing that Sludge Bomb probably just one-shots, and that if I get a Tailwind, I might be faster. Like, the chances for things to go wrong makes this very hard for them to want to do something, right? So if I Encore Protect, then I can always just hard switch and reposition around what they do, which I think is safer than trying to make the call now. Okay, we just see Tailwind. I mean, that's what we want to see, actually, because Encoring that Whimsicott again gives me a position where I should be able to reposition and attack freely. Has that worked the past 3 games in a row? No. Oh, they Wave Crash into Whimsicott. That's interesting. It's a 2-shot as well, which I did not expect. It's Life Orb, that's why it's a 2-shot. I guess my question is, why do I not just Tailwind or Moonblast actually? Because I can Moonblast into Whimsicott as it switches. If they switch into, are they ever switching into Charizard here is my question. I don't think they are. If they have Kingambit or Glimmora in the back, they're switching to that right now. So I don't hate just clicking Tailwind, sacking the Whimsicott, and then trying to catch a switch. Because if they stay in with Whimsicott, then I can just go for Sludge Bomb next turn, and that's relatively safe. I could also just go for Power Jam into Basculegion, since I should outspeed that. Oh, but they would have the Aqua Jet pressure, so I would have to be a bit more careful. They do switch Whimsicott. That's Floette, nice. So if I'd gone for the Poison type move, that'd be looking crazy. I'm frankly a little bit shocked that they took that risk. Cool, that tells us that it's adamant on the Basculegion. I mean, the damage on, oh, that's nice. The damage on Whimsicott would have implied that, but it's good to verify. What I can do now is Encore the Basculegion and potentially just Power Jam it, to be honest, because I think Floette really wants to protect. I think above all else, that's what it wants to do. So what I can do is I can Encore the Basculegion to block Aqua Jet, and then use Power Jam to KO Legion. If I'm correct that Froslass wants to protect here, then I can just go for the Encore Sludge Bomb the Whimsicott, get the KO because I have the Toxic Spikes now, and then rely on Froslass and Garchomp to muscle through a weakened Floette, which I think is a pretty reasonable ask of the team. I wonder what the final Pokemon is, because I do need to force that out sooner than later, because I am hemorrhaging a lot of resources right now. I mean, you're -1. That's the part that I think stands out to me, is that maybe a really strong Floette could have taken Sludge Bomb at this point, but there's no chance, no world. If I get that KO for free, you're in trouble. So to that extent, I feel like you should just be protecting. But at the same time, if you want to make a call, then it's not ridiculous. Oh God, they made a hard call there. That's really bad, because what am I supposed to do about that? There's no world where I can ever attack Floette safely, right? Except there is a world where I can attack Floette safely, because I'm faster, which is also kind of shocking. Not gonna lie. So I bring in Froslass. Since they have no KOs, they're not threatening to take out anything with, what's it called? I can't remember what it's called for some reason. Yeah, they're not threatening any KOs with Last Respects. At -1, -1, where's the -1 coming from? Oh yeah, -1 special defense, that's where it's coming from. Never mind, I'm smart. With the -1 special defense, I might be able to steal a KO on Floette and then get rid of Basculegion next turn, and then just hope that I have enough resources to win. Alternatively, Basculegion Aqua Jets into Glimmora, I get some spiky shield chip damage, and then they're in a really bad spot. Show me Aqua Jet, please. I mean, Wave Crash also works, but Aqua Jet would be way funnier. They protect Floette, I think that's the right play. But surely you're getting rid of, yeah, Aqua Jet, nice. I mean, that might be in range of Blizzard. I don't think so, but it might be. Froslass is not some bum. Oh, missing that is unfortunate. Oh, let's go! That's massive. That is massive. Because Freeze now works similarly to Sleep, where after a specified amount of turns in the condition, you'll always unthaw, so on and so forth. Oh, Earth Power just to cover switches. So I actually don't think there's any chance that they can. Oh, nice! I got the Earth Power read. Nice, nice. The Frozen Solid. I'm pretty sure they're guaranteed to be frozen that turn. I'm not entirely sure how the move works. The good news is the next time they bring Floette to the field, it's going to be working with a limited amount of time. Please. No! Ah! Why? Oh my God, that's really bad. That's really bad. I mean, I think I have to just attack Kingambit in Aurora Veil now. I mean, you'd have to be talking about a very fast Kingambit for it to move first against Froslass. And I don't think they want to attack Glimmora too aggressively. They do Tailwind. I don't think that there's any world where this Kingambit's so fast that it moves first. Oh my God, it sucker punched. I guess that would do it. Ah! I mean, I guess on the flip side of that, because there is some positive to it, Kingambit's absolutely in range of an attack from Garchomp, no? So I just need to get this Garchomp. I need to get the Garchomp. I need to get the Kingambit. That's what I need. I mean, in an ideal world, they just don't Sucker Punch or they don't KO. I don't think not KOing is an option. I can kind of get a rough idea of how likely it is by just checking +2 Sucker Punch on no investment either side. If they're not black glasses, then I can actually just attack here. And if they don't Sucker Punch, then I might move first. Ah! I'm playing so terribly! It's over. It's over. And they Sucker Punch. They Sucker Punch Garchomp. That's interesting. Are you kidding? I forgot about Encore. I can't believe I let that happen. I'm like the Encore guy. That's game. That's definitely game. 3 in a row? 4 in a row? For losses, and all 3 of them were games where I feel like I could have and should have potentially won. If I had full HP on Garchomp, then I might have been able to pull this out with a bit of luck from Rock Slide or something like that. Because the poison makes this totally believable to win. Like, I had all the right conditions on the board, but I didn't get to that position correctly, and that's what's costing me the game now. So I needed to get V.I.L up before Whimsicott was on the field so that I could attack safely. Because if I could attack safely here, then the V.I.L would be making a massive difference. I don't need to check this to know it's over. That's really what I'm getting at. It's over, and I don't need to check that to know. That's unfortunate because I'm just on a big losing streak now. But I don't want to leave it on a losing streak, right? I've got to win one more, unless I lose this one, because I don't think I have another loss in me, to be honest. If I lose this one, that's probably it. Because playing this many back-to-back-to-back isn't really my style. Okay, you know what? The last time I played a team like this, I lost because it was Scarf Hydreigon, and they used it to Master Fleet, maneuver through Trick Room and through the positions where they're not in Trick Room, and that was annoying. So, what am I going to do about it? I'm going to bring Whimsicott. Because holy moly, Whimsicott would have changed that game. The other thing that I'm going to consider bringing is Kingambit. Because Gambit actually looks kind of good here. So does Gyarados, to be honest, because if they try to use Torkoal to sweep, then I'm looking really good. This genuinely just might be a game where Froslass doesn't come, because Froslass could legitimately lose to every single one of their primary sweeping options, and that's one hell of a reason not to bring him. If it's Scarf Hydreigon or even just like high speed Hydreigon, then Garchomp actually looks pretty good in the matchup, since I can go into Trick Room with them and then take out their Hydreigon pretty safely. So I'm interested to see how this goes. Hatterene, Oranguru. Not good, bad, 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 terrible, awful, terrible, bad. I mean, in an ideal world, I'm just putting some damage down on their Pokemon. Like, it's unlikely that you're running into Sash Hatterene. What I would love to see is like protect Hatterene Trick Room, and then what I can do is I can Encore the Hatterene, take out the Oranguru, because it's likely Mental Herb on the Monkey. Swords Dance, nice, they are going for Trick Room. Oh, I can't Encore the Hatterene, actually. I do need to play this a little bit safer. I guess what I could do is I could just go for Encore Oranguru just to verify that they actually have the Mental Herb, and then I can Sucker Punch Hatterene for a KO. Since I struggle to believe that Hatterene has the bulk to live +2 Black Glasses Swords Dance. I refuse to believe that. You know, if Charizard can't take this, then how is Hatterene taking it? That's my thought. Hatterene's not that guy. The other thing is I can always click Sucker Punch, which is pretty safe. That's interesting. If they aren't Mental Herb, they've just lost. Now, realistically, we are looking at Mental Herb, and it's not that crazy of a turn for me, but it could be really good, because the Encore does succeed so far, right? Oh! They went Mental Herb! Let's go! You'll love to see it. Okay, now I need to capitalize. How do I do that? Do I just trade Kingambit for... Yeah, I think I trade Kingambit. Put damage on Torkoal, get rid of Oranguru. Because a little bit of damage on that Torkoal is just gonna... It's gonna go a long way. It's not a lot. Special attack drop. Let's go! Bye-bye, Oranguru! You're done. I'm in a mood today. I don't know what's going on. We would love to see Heat Wave here. Yeah, because that's not going to KO. Honestly, I did not think it was going to do that much damage. Holy. That's insane. Golurk to the field. At this point, I feel like I'm actually in a better position just to start working through the Torkoal, since that is kind of the scary one, to be honest. That's the one that gives me nightmares, and my battery's running out. What's going on here? Battery? You're meant to stay alive. The hell? Sorry for that inconsiderate language. Golurk protects! Let's go! I'm in a mood. I don't know what's going on here. Moonblast is blocked, but we're gonna see +2 Kowtow cleave onto the Torkoal, and I think that's where the magic happens. Oh, jeez. I don't think the crit mattered, but I'm not gonna rule out the idea that it could have mattered, right? I think there's definitely times where that matters. That's my big prediction. Also, I can now actually encore the Golurk and go for Kowtow cleave into Hatterene. I'm about to 4-0 this poor soul. Unless it's Sash Hatterene. It's not Sash Hatterene, probably. Also, it protects, which is not good for them. Because Encore onto the Golurk leaves them with no way to do damage without taking a massive penalty in return. They hit the double, which is actually good for me because I wasn't targeting Golurk, so, you know, it's kind of hopeless. That's a 4-0. I said, oh, I've got to finish on a win. And look what I did. I won. I'm a winner. Turns out I do know how to not lose. There's one thing I want to look at before I leave, and it's a big man named Gyarados. I am so sorry, Gyarados. You saw no play today. I imagine that most people are interested in seeing the Gyarados in action. I'm really sorry that it didn't come through today, but if you keep liking these videos, then I'm very happy to keep making them. Yeah, put a like, put a subscribe on it, because based on the last video that I uploaded, it's looking like I have a winning strategy for what people want to see. So if you like that type of stuff, make sure you're liking and subscribing, because it does tell me what to make. Do leave comments, because I love to have chats in the comments. That's always a real good fun. Big sorry to Gyarados, because Gyarados did not see a single match. And hey, maybe if I brought Gyarados to the rain matchups, then maybe I would have won those games. It's unclear. I think the fact that I played those matchups pretty terribly was probably the kill shot, not what I brought. So it wasn't like I was missing something. But we did get to see Kingambit, who I kind of thought was going to be relegated to the bench for the whole video. Swords Dance, it's kind of cracked. If you can find a team that doesn't have an answer to Swords Dance Kingambit, then it just rips them apart. Alternatively, if you're looking at a matchup where they haven't respected Kingambit enough, then you also have a good chance just to sucker punch them into oblivion, and maybe that results in a position where you can Swords Dance and again rip them apart. Coming into this video, I was kind of expecting to get rid of the Kingambit, but after that, I'm kind of thinking maybe I should just stick to my guns on this one and hold on to Kingambit. But that's about it for me. If you like the video, do just that and like the video, put a subscribe on it, put a comment on it, and I'll see you next time.